Finally, my first Blythe video. This one is for you, Carmy Cat. I know you've been asking forever for videos of my Blythes, and especially of sweet little Anika. I just had this thing about going through my little black book. Where is it? My little black book of each of my characters in order that they arrived to me, and I'm so far behind that this is, I think it was September of 2015 that she arrived to me. So maybe I'm gonna have to do more of these 3 videos at a time type thing. But yes, so Anika she's such a special girl. I fell in love with Blythe right away, but they were so much more expensive than pull-ups that I just kind of went the pull-up route because they seemed more accessible. I hadn't yet developed a taste for the stock Blythe, so I wanted a custom Blythe, and I didn't want just any old custom Blythe. I went for a really well-known artist right away, and it was quite a lot of money that I don't regret spending at all. I remember being shocked at myself back when I bought her, but oh my gosh, the artist was so generous. She didn't know me at all, and she gave me months. I think she gave me like a 4 or 5 month layaway plan. So that's Cihui. It's Blythes by Cihui, and she does marvelous work. She's out of Mexico. So little Anika arrived to me in a little fairy outfit. Of course, I'm going to put a picture here, but in the meantime, let me grab her box. So, or actually, I'll just show you this first. So she had this little flower crown and the sweet little dress. Such a simple idea. I've been wanting to make dresses like this ever since I got this one, and I still just haven't gotten around to it. So it's that really simple crochet pattern for starting the top of the dress, and then it's just sewn, in this case, to thick lace that I imagine whoever made this must have sourced it from like an old table runner or doily or something. Very clever, very simple, and a perfect little dress for a fairy, with a button too, which I think is so sweet. Little buttonhole. And then Cihui was really creative and used these little twist ties to go up her legs like little Roman sandals. One of the things that came, oh, I should show you the box. Okay, so the box. Look at this thing. It's so elaborate. So she would have painted it and decorated it. She glued these flowers. To me, this was like something that I would expect to see decorating an altar in a Dia de los Muertos type. And maybe, I hope that's not an inappropriate assumption. I was just thinking, oh, she's from Mexico. I just think that this box looks like it's from Mexico specifically, and I love that about it. She'd given me so much time to do the layaway that I told her I wanted to name her Anika, and so she painted her name on the box. The box has this fabulous little clasp, and it is wooden. It's a wood box. Really lovely logo. She'd given her a soft little terry cloth bed to travel in. She gave her a little polka dot heart pillow. She included this postcard, which I love it, and at the same time it made my heart ache, because as soon as, even though Anika was my first Blythe, she came with this postcard, and I was like, I want both of those also. I want them now. And one of the beautiful things that Cihui does are these unbelievably fabulous reroots with mohair, I believe. At least my girl is mohair. Some of these might be alpaca. And so I've been in love with these two faces and kind of coveting them for years. And then there was also a little pink bear that somebody else has stolen. I can't see him right now, but he's around here somewhere. So Anika was a pretty extraordinary Blythe to have as my first. First, this crazy hair to contend with. Up close or against sharp light, you could see that it's frizzy, but she photographs beautifully, and that doesn't seem to show up on photos. It's actually not either what I see when I look at her. She has really, really beautiful eyes. This pair is green. Let me see. Her little sleepy eyes have a cat on one side, little hearts on the other. She has extremely long eyelashes, which is part of her charm. These little front facing are a more neutral light brown. I believe the eye chips might all be pupillina. I didn't know very much about all the different vendors when I got Anika, so the names didn't stick very well, but yeah, they look like the fabulous quality that pupillina makes. The other side facing are these gorgeous blue. And finally, her second front facing pair are green with a little bit of auburn and yellow. She was the very first doll that I ever got with a pure Nemo body, and this is an authentic pure Nemo body. So she does have the ability to tilt her head, which is marvelous. Had the option of changing little hand features, and it's just a wonderful sturdy body to support how heavy the Blythe head is. She is one of my most photographed dolls. So I'm definitely going to go through those photos and do a slideshow, and then I think I'll talk over that a little bit because it's almost impossible for me to remember just how many adventures she's had in the last 3.5 years. Her pull charms are insane. They are so elaborate and decorated. And then again, I would say again that it's an aesthetic coming from a particular cultural viewpoint. And then what she's wearing, I have made most of everything except for the stockings and the shoes. Little scarf, this little dress from some of the most expensive yarns I own. I was really lucky and found a yarn, well, it sounds mean, they were going out of business, so not so lucky for them. But I was lucky and found the store when everything was right at the end of clearance, like 80% off. So I bought all these tiny little skeins for crazy cheap, you know, skeins that would have been individually like $16 to $20, which I can't imagine buying when you're making a human-sized project. But of course for the dolls, I just needed the little individual skeins. So I think the store owner thought I was insane because I didn't buy two of anything. And so they're mohair and viscose and other fancy yarn names that I don't shop for very often, so I don't even know all the names. And that's what her skirt is made of, as well as her leg warmers. And then these massive shoes. These shoes I bought before I found Cihui for Craft on Etsy, and I paid like $300 or 4 times as much for this one pair than I have for any of the other shoes from Cihui Craft. Which honestly is considerably a more fair price for the artisan, because I can't imagine that this is easy to make. It's not like they have a machine putting all the pieces together. But they're a little bit too big, unfortunately. The Cihui shoes are a more perfect fit. A huge part of me wishes that I had made a video when Anika had first arrived, because that high that comes with a new friend is special, and it's short-lived, which I think is part of why people do unboxing videos. I'm not keen on doing them for myself, because mostly I'm just in stunned silence as I go through the ritual of opening the package and of unfolding the layers. It's this nonverbal communication between the artist and myself. Just like when a gift is packaged for you by a friend who has really put in the time to think about you while they package it. And so I'm just not in performance mood when I'm doing an unboxing. But still, I think maybe I should get into the habit of doing a video the same later that day, or maybe the next day, when I'm still in that mode of surprise, so I can share with you more of the details that I see. Anika has been with me for so long that she's such a familiar friend, and I'm a little bit stumped on what to say about her, so let me think about this for a moment. I think the biggest thing that I would have to say about why she's so special to me is she was the first, which also means that she was the only one, which means that I could focus all of my energy and enthusiasm on this Blythe. Having by then built up such anticipation for having a Blythe and the kinds of clothing that they can wear, and how their little personalities come across in photography. So all of the potential for how to display and how to style her. Also, I got her for my birthday, so even though I had waited for such a long time going through the layaway, I actually held off on opening her until my birthday. And my husband is so sweet, because he planned this afternoon tea for me. He bought some really fine pastries and made little finger sandwiches and brewed my favorite tea and put it in a thermos. And we drove up to these beautiful mountains to have tea in the sunset. And he brought a couple presents with him, and one of them, of course, was Anika. So I hadn't opened her yet, and there was so much anticipation and excitement. And when we got there, it was so windy that we had tea. We enjoyed tea while our hair was blowing everywhere, and the little bit of tea was even blowing out of the tops of our mugs. So we ended up just bundling back into the car and driving home, and I ended up finally opening her when I got home. Cihui was a wonderful artist to make that first relationship with. Her communication was so fun. It was the first time that I saw, or that I interacted in those communications with so many little emojis, little heart emojis and rainbows and flowers and kissy faces, and I just thought, okay, this is a different world. It's not this buttoned up, straight face retail that's just a business transaction. It really felt like I had made a friend in another country. So I love Anika. She's absolutely unique. Cihui has made several dolls with the reroutes, and for a very long time Anika was the only girl with this color, and so that was really special. She has since made a couple others with the same reroute, and there was even a time when somebody had been messaging me a lot. She had seen a lot of pictures of Anika and was smitten with her. And after some time passed, I found out that she had asked for pretty much an exact copy of Anika, even with the fairy wings. How did I not show you the wings? Oh my god, she had wings. Even with the fairy wings and the same little wrapped sandals. It was kind of shocking to see, actually. But the thing about Anika is that she has this really special little smirk. She has this little pixie tricksy look to her, and there's no other Blythe just like her. She has these really soft eyebrows, which I think lend to. I mean, her eyelashes are expressive enough, and her eyes are expressive enough. So I would never look at another Blythe and say, "Oh, that could be Anika." There's just no way. Just like Tigger, she's the only one. These first two pictures are directly by the artist from her Etsy page. I stared at her for a few days and finally got the courage to ask if she would give me layaway. This is how she arrived to me. And for my birthday that year, I also had won the little Nymphaeus BJD fawn that I hadn't quite figured out how to set his legs yet. I made her this dress. It was the first time I had made a dress from that pattern. Since my birthday is in September, of course, Halloween is the next thing that follows, and Anika was the first Blythe to start the Halloween traditions with me. Oh, sweet little picture with my doggy Ito. And then it was her first Christmas, so she got to do all these decorations. And even to this day, that box says Anika's Christmas decorations. It was so much fun to have the excuse to buy miniature Christmas things. Just another stunning photo. She was my model for several of my sewing projects. I made that scarf, that dress, this dress, things for a possible Etsy shop. But then look at that sweater. See, that's why I don't have an Etsy shop. Because my dress is nice and all, but that sweater is made by a true professional. This photo I took when it was Cihui's birthday as a way of saying happy birthday to her original artist. And then just a collection of photos. I loved changing her outfits. I made that dress out of crochet. This is just a cute little pajama outfit I got on Etsy. And this is a Totoro themed skirt that I bought from a dressmaker. Then finally, Anika got her first sister, Belen. I have these elaborate fantasies of making photos like Dolly Treasures. Where there were two, there were very quickly 3 Blythes, all by incredible artists. The other 2 will get their review, I promise. She's been with me for 3.5 years now, so I have changed her outfit so many times, and every time I change her outfit, I get inspired to take a picture of her. This was her second Christmas. By that time there were 4, and let's see, is that still 4? Nope, that's 5 up to no good. I get a kick out of doing these little comic strip bubbles. And here's a little Anika hippie napping in the sun. Probably her steepest competition has been Bina, but that's a whole nother story. And I'm not even going to bother to give that a number. Of course, now I've entered a new era where I am in love with stock Blythe. But this little curly-haired Blythe by Tole Tole is the best sibling for Anika. They go so well together with their little curly hair, and for this, which was Anika's third Halloween with me, we all dressed up together.